My name is Mark Levin, and I'm the director of the Center for Effective Justice at the Texas Public Policy Foundation. Our nation's criminal justice system too often fails to meet our highest ideals and expectations. Taxpayers are frequently asked to spend more and more on this system without seeing an equivalent return in terms of lower crime, more victims made whole, more offenders rehabilitated, and more families kept together. Fortunately, we know more than ever before about how to turn this tide, and there are more and more examples of successful reforms being implemented. Through our Texas work and our Right on Crime initiative, we're changing the way this state and our nation approaches criminal justice. The reality is that 2.3 million Americans are in prison, 1 in 31 adults are under correctional control, and each year 100,000 youths are incarcerated and 500,000 youths are detained, requiring billions in spending. But we've got a real opportunity for change. In 2009, for the first time in 38 years, America's adult prison population declined, although it was by less than 1%. However, this decline accelerated in 2010. But the goal isn't simply to shrink prisons. We also want to cultivate more cost-effective public safety approaches for dealing with nonviolent offenders. We address these challenges by providing cost-effective solutions that hold offenders accountable. We also work to empower and restore victims and remove barriers so that offenders who re-enter society may become productive citizens. Additionally, we work to limit the scope of criminal law so that we ensure we're addressing truly wrongful conduct. Our efforts have resulted in billions of dollars in savings to taxpayers and have dramatically improved public safety. We research what works in criminal justice and then market our solutions through educating policymakers across the nation on how to implement these reforms. We foster change by hosting national outreach events and educational briefings, as well as providing legislative testimony and conducting extensive media outreach. In 2011, our work was featured in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, Time Magazine, and even international publications such as The Economist and The Guardian. We garnered more than 1.45 billion media impressions. Our efforts are contributing to a paradigm shift as policymakers increasingly focus on cost-effective, data-driven approaches to enhancing public safety and stopping the revolving door while not being too tough on taxpayers. Policymakers increasingly realize we must distinguish who we're truly afraid of versus those we're just mad at, and that we must move from a system that grows when it fails to one that rewards results. For example, here in Texas, since 2005, policymakers have relied upon our research in embracing proven alternatives to incarceration for nonviolent offenders that has led to a 9% drop in both the crime and incarceration rates, including the closure of 5 adult and juvenile lockups. Through our work making Texas a national model and our Right on Crime initiative, the Center for Effective Justice is making America safer, prioritizing victims, reforming offenders to be productive members of society, and keeping families together. I hope you'll join us.